Hey guys, how's it going? Karaya here, and welcome to my Game Week 4 Premier League predictions. Now, apologies in advance, this video is going to be slightly lower quality, and by the time I release it, a few Premier League games might have already been played, but the time is 1:30 on the Friday. This is when I'm recording it, so none of my predictions will be biased. I've had some slight technical difficulties with the equipment that I normally use. Basically, my family have lost the iPad that I used to film it on, so the video won't be as good quality. But we're going to crack on with it anyway, and these are my predictions for Game Week 4 in the Premier League. Also guys, sorry for the lack of uploads recently. It's been a bit of a hectic week for me, going back to sixth form starting next week, lots of summer work, friends commitments and family stuff as well, but normal service will be resumed in the coming weeks, so don't worry, I'll have a lot more videos coming, a little rant about MotoGP coming, slight problems about that, but that will come, but yeah, let's get into the video. So the first game of Game Week 4 on the Saturday is Leicester City versus Liverpool, and I am going to go for a 2-0 Liverpool win. I think they all hit their stride again and keep their good run going. Next up, we've got Brighton and Hove Albion against Fulham, and I am going to go for a 2-1 Brighton win. I think Fulham surprised me, especially with their 4-2 victory over Burnley. I was expecting quite a low-scoring game, but their attack really flourished. But again, Brighton almost managed to keep Liverpool out, and if they can do that, then they can definitely keep Fulham out, and I think that they've got enough in attack to be able to beat the Fulham defence. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brighton win. Next up, it's Chelsea versus Bournemouth, and I am going to go for a 2-0 Chelsea win. I can see Bournemouth's run coming to an end. They've had a fantastic start to the season, just like Watford, but I think that Chelsea at home will have a bit too much for them. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Chelsea win. Next up is Crystal Palace versus Southampton, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Neither side has really started the season very well. Crystal Palace picked up an opening day victory, and Southampton have drawn against Burnley, but really, neither team has looked very convincing at all. Wilfried Zaha has shown signs of promise, but he's not really been on it. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think both sides might score. Neither of them look really that good in defence, but we'll have to see. I think whoever has the strongest mindset going into this game will come out victorious. Next up is Everton versus Huddersfield, and I am going to go for a 2-0 Everton win. Huddersfield, they've got quite a difficult run of games coming up, and I think if they can't get their act together soon, they might start thinking about possible relegation even this early on in the season. Everton have looked surprisingly strong, I think, at the start of the season. They did very well against Bournemouth until they threw away a 2-0 lead. Theo Walcott looks to be finding his form again. If he can do that, then he'll definitely help them to get a win. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Everton win. I just don't see Huddersfield having anything to offer on the offensive, and I think they might just be picked apart defensively. Next up, we have West Ham United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I am going to go with... a 2-1 win for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I had to sit there and think about that for a bit, but I think they've had enough quality, and they're riding that massive high from the Man City game, whereas West Ham haven't looked all too convincing. Is that sort of my mindset with this one? It could go either way. It could easily be a draw, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 Wolves win because they've really impressed me early on in this season. Next up is Manchester City versus Newcastle United. The true Geordie will be not eagerly anticipating this one, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 Manchester City win. I think they'll have way too much for Newcastle. If Rafa Benitez goes against his norm and goes for 5 at the back again, maybe they could try and keep Manchester City out, but I just think they'll have way too much in the tank, and I think 3-0. If Manchester City score first and early, it could be an absolute walkover like it was at Huddersfield. So Manchester City will be hoping to get an early goal, Newcastle will be hoping that they don't, and yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-0 Manchester City win. and I'm hoping that Aguero doesn't get another hat-trick because one of my mates has him in his fantasy team and I don't want him to beat me in the league. So, yeah, but I'm going to go for a 3-0 win. On to the Sunday games now, and we start off with Cardiff City versus Arsenal, and I think Unai Emery will make it 2 wins out of 2 in the Premier League, and I think he will beat Cardiff City 2-0. I don't think it will be as easy as a lot of people expect it to be with the big teams. Well, Arsenal, maybe not a big team anymore, but definitely still one of the giants in the Premier League. Of course, you must take that into consideration. But Cardiff at home, I think they'll sit back really, really well. And I think they can defend really, really well as well at times when they're at home. They've got a lot of the home crowd will be supporting them and getting on Arsenal's backs quite a lot. And Neil Warnock obviously is not exactly known for his attacking prowess, but yeah, I think Arsenal might have to wait until the second half to score, but once they score, I think the win should be guaranteed. Next up, we've got Burnley versus Manchester United, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win. They've been absolutely humiliated by Tottenham, but they were much, much the better team in that first half, and they really, really showed Mourinho's change. You know, he's changed a lot as a manager that game, and they said they worked on that new system for the week. Yeah, if they can replicate that form in the first half, and Lukaku can actually score a one-on-one, then I can see them maybe even turning Burnley aside because they were running on the low from just being knocked out of the Europa League by Olympiacos. Didn't even make it to the group stage as such. But yeah, Burnley, Manchester United, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I might have said 2-1 earlier, but 2-0, and I think 2 of their goals will come in the first half when they're high on energy. And finally, we've got Watford versus Tottenham, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 Tottenham win, and I think that Watford's run of 3 consecutive victories will come to an end. I think they'll be very, very solid defensively. I think they could definitely offer something going forward as well, because they've been very good in that aspect. Troy Deeney is playing like a man possessed at the moment, as is Etienne Capoue. Holebas, you know, his crossing game is on point. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-0 Tottenham win, although I do think it will be a much closer game than a lot of people think. So now, guys, on to my reactions from the last game week number 3. I actually did really, really well. I only got 2 predictions wrong. I predicted Wolves 0, Manchester City 2, and Manchester United 2, Tottenham 2. I think I can be let off for saying that Wolves would be beaten. You know, wasn't really. I don't think anyone really predicted a draw to happen. But Southampton 1-2 Leicester. Southampton 1, Leicester 2. I got that one bang on. Arsenal 3-1 West Ham. Got that one bang on. Bournemouth 1-1 Everton. It was a 2-2 draw. Still not exactly bad. A draw, you know, close game. Huddersfield 0-0 Cardiff. I got that one bang on as well. Liverpool 3-0 Brighton. Well, it was 1-0, but again, the correct result. 1-0 Palace. Watford 1, Palace 0, should I say. Again, the right result. Not quite the right scoreline, but it was quite a close game, and I think my scoreline sort of backs that up. Newcastle 0, Chelsea 2. It was actually 2-1, so again, not too far away there. And Fulham 1-0 Burnley, which it was a Fulham win. So overall, I only got 2 predictions wrong, and I got 3 out of the 10 predictions absolutely correct, which I think was a pretty good game week. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I say, once everything calms down a little bit, I'll get back to my regular upload schedule of sort of 2 videos a week. GCC video coming soon, most GP video coming soon as well, maybe a little bit of F1 stuff, and then in the future, at some point, I would like to go with Sean and maybe a couple other of my mates. I'll introduce them before the video starts. Going to an abandoned squash court near where I live. It's on a football pitch. It's where I film some of my older videos, but it's sort of out the back. And yeah, if you'd like to see that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next one.